If you would be feeling uncertain in those crazy shoulder moves,
that looks gross,
and you want to improve your mobility and stability in this position, but you don't have the time to integrate every shoulder, elbow, and wrist exercise on the market into your routine, the good news is that I have one exercise with different pro and regressions that will help you become better at performing a Gaston, a Gastunder cling, a Gasthumber cling, or if you just want to be able to pull open an elevator door. And I'll share with you how you can add more complexity to this pattern to improve your climbing performance. So let's get started. Our first variation of this exercise is placed in the beginning on purpose because it's the foundation where we will build upon for our further progressions. It's a great one because it covers all the elements of a Gaston, like the internal rotation of the shoulder and pronation of the wrist. Take a tennis ball and place it in the palm of your hand and spread your fingers as wide as possible. Stand your feet shoulder width apart and hold the ball in front. Bring the tennis ball towards the midline underneath the armpit, and once it's behind the body, lift it upwards. From here, spiral it back to the front towards a Gaston-like position. For now, just make sure that your other hand is relaxed because you will need it in further variations. If your mobility allows it, you can continue the figure 8-like motion and pull it back again behind and finish the movement back in the starting position. Continue the motion for 30 to 60 seconds and switch to the other side. In this first variation, we are going from an inwards to an outwards rotation towards that funky shoulder position, but we can also work in the opposite direction. Start this time by bringing it to the lateral aspect of the body and keep an open palm face towards the ceiling. Open your arm and rotate it inwards overhead. From here, continue the spiral as in the previous variation. Again, perform it on both sides for 30 to 60 seconds. But why should we do this one first? Well, on the one side it's a very low impact exercise that will allow us to use our full shoulder range of motion, and it's a perfect warm-up to get yourself ready for the more challenging variations where we will add strength, balance and a coordination component in this Gaston position. If you would like some more warm-up inspirations, you can check out my free movement warm-up guide for climbing in the description. Here we give you access to a 10 to 20 minute movement warm-up routine to further improve your climbing. In the next variation we will add some more finger coordination. This is a great way to develop the sensitivity in our fingertips and helps us to prepare for those weird pinchy squeezy holds. Hold the tennis ball between your fingers for the easiest variation and make it harder by bringing it more towards the fingertips. Hold it with your appropriate variation and you will try to follow the same trajectory as in the previous exercise. And again, try to repeat a full figure of 8 spiral in every direction. These are just 2 variations that you can perform, but it has an enormous amount of possibilities to develop more strength, control and precision into this pattern. Once the basic pattern is well installed, you can try to demand more range of motion from your shoulder by performing it with a locked posture instead of a loose spine. To add the strength component, you can load the pattern with a small weight plate or even with a big weight if that would not be enough for you. Make sure you maintain the horizontal position of the object and try to avoid using momentum. If this still would not be enough, you can add even more complexity by placing a ball in the middle of the hole. You can also just balance the ball on a flat surface, just as in the game where you solve mazes while hanging. You can do the rotation while balancing a stick, or with 2 Jenga blocks stacked upon each other to really challenge your patience, accuracy and fine motor skills. Use your creativity to come up with your own variations. The next variation is the one where we will prepare ourselves for those double Gastons or side pulls. This progression will demand more flexibility and extension from the spine, which translates nicely to stronger cut looses and develops more range in those hunched over positions. For this one you can grab 2 tennis balls, 2 shoes, 2 books or maybe 2 coasters. Initiate the previous motion where you bring the objects simultaneously towards the midline and make yourself small with a rounded back to allow the objects to go underneath the armpits. From here, continue your spiral while you open the ribcage and extend the spine while you try to keep the objects horizontal. Imagine you are serving some glasses that you don't want to drop. Perform this exercise with the medial and lateral initiated version and aim for a smooth rotation where you don't accelerate or decelerate the speed of the motion. To make it even more climbing specific, we can add a deep squat restriction. If mobility would be an issue here, you can change the exercise to apply it even more to climbing by going towards a high squat. With this transition, you can also integrate the balance component of a rockover or a perch. In all these variations, we always worked in a synchronized fashion. You can also go towards an asynchronized pattern where you move the objects in an opposite direction. Challenge yourself by switching between all 4 patterns and keep progressing the exercises once they get easy. The moment that you feel uncoordinated means you're on the right track of becoming more coordinated. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more movement insights to further improve your climbing.